Okay. Our presentation today, Extraordinary Living, a Personal Enhancement Presentation by Dr. Daniel Acuff, Ph.D., M.S.P, which stands for Masters in Spiritual Psychology. With Dr. Acuff as a guide, we as a participant can expect to explore various important keys to creating an extraordinary life experience. We will be invited and sometimes challenged to look at questions related to how we are currently fulfilling our needs and how this leads to our level of happiness. A high and consistent degree of happiness is a goal of extraordinary living. With us, he will examine many important questions. Dr. Acuff has been a conference speaker and workshop leader in front of more than 6,000 participants around the globe. He has consulted with participants from major corporations such as Disney, Kraft, Hallmark, Kellogg's, ABC TV, M&M Mars, Marvel, Sega, and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Daniel Acuff is the author of 14 books and a variety of articles related to human needs and motivation, communication, and relationship. Please join me in welcoming Daniel Acuff.
Thank you, Kat. Happy Father's Day from me, too. Raise your hand if you're a father. The rest of you must be mothers. Our goal today is to increase your happiness. Is that okay with you? Sure. Who wants more happiness than they have at the moment? Well, what's wrong with you? Today's going to be very interactive. So practice raising your hands. I saw you in the back, you didn't. There are 6 dimensions of human experience. Physical, intellectual, social, emotional, ethical, and spiritual. There's not enough time to go into all that, of course. So we're just going to focus on 1 or 2 or 3. We're going to start with the physical. At the end of the presentation, I'll say a couple of words about a workshop that could get into more of those areas. It's proven that it's possible even before we're born that we begin to deteriorate. So some bad news first. One research project. Aging is a natural process. Everyone must undergo this phase of life at his or her own time and pace. In the broader sense, aging reflects all the changes taking place over the course of life. These changes start even before birth. And then one grows, develops, and attains maturity. To the young, aging is exciting. Middle age is the time when people begin to really notice the age-related changes. Here we go downhill, huh? Like graying of hair, wrinkled skin, and a fair amount of physical decline. Even the healthiest, aesthetically fit, cannot escape these changes. Slow and steady physical impairment and functional disability are noticed, resulting in increased dependency in the period of old age. According to the World Health Organization, aging is a course of biological reality which starts at conception and ends with death. It has its own dynamics much beyond human control. So just for fun, I'm going to ask you to go on a little trip with me, a little journey of my own deterioration. It's not going to be fun for me, hopefully it will for you. But let's have some fun at my expense. Okay, my deterioration, it's chronological. In the womb, my mother was a smoker. I don't know if she stopped during pregnancy, but studies show that smoking decreases the available oxygen to the fetus. So I got something to blame already. 18 months. I ate some Drano under the kitchen sink. And they rushed me to the hospital for a stomach pump. Now, it's interactive, so if you ever had anything like that happen to you, raise your hand. Really? I'd like to hear about that some other day, maybe next month. Second grade, occasional lines of light across my field of vision happened, and then I would get nauseous and have a headache. And I'd see a seraphic kind of a thing on my vision when I was only in second grade. I still see it today, and it's even increased. I went to the doctor even a couple days ago, actually a neurologist, and he said it was just my eyes, not my brain. I was relieved. Fourth grade. You know those fences with the barb on top? We were playing some kind of catch thing, and I got up on the top of the fence to retrieve it and got caught on the barb. I was hanging there. I did get off. In high school, I had stomach poisoning on a baseball trip. Didn't eat for 4 or 5 days. When they finally ate, they gave me liver. Oh. I hated liver, but it was the best tasting liver I ever had. Also in high school, I was a quarterback on a football team. Small town, Casa Grande, Arizona. Anybody know it? Wow. Okay, so we went to play Tucson. Big team. We were getting beat 66-6 at half. I told the coach, let me in there, I'll stop them. I had never played defense in my life. A fumble came my way. I went half-assed for it. You don't go half-assed for a fumble. You go whole out. But I put my arm out. I'll get it. Somebody hit my arm and dislocated my arm, and it went that way. I got up from the pile, and I looked at the referee, and he looked at me, and I said, my arm's broken. He said, no, it isn't. I said, damn it, look at it. They took me in the shower, and they put it back, and then they got a screw in my elbow, and never mind. Anybody have a dislocation? There they are. Okay. Oh, let's see. Then, I had acne at the age 14. Come on, be brave. Who had acne? Okay, pimples. Sophomore. Let's see. No, approaching middle age. I guess I had some good times in there where I didn't get hurt. Well, at the time, receding hairline. I was married at the time, and my wife was starting to find out things that were wrong with me. Well, she noticed that my hairline had been receding a little bit, so she pointed that out to me. Well, I got revenge when she divorced me, because I was obviously wrong, and married a bald guy. Okay. Eyesight. Way too young, it seemed to me. All of a sudden, around 40 years old, all of a sudden I need to have glasses to read. Hands, look around. That's a lot of hands. Okay. And now entering into senior life, it really starts to get a little rough. Let's talk about wrinkles. Age-related wrinkles, a groove on my upper lip. Where did that come from, I said. I looked in the mirror, where did that come from? A groove. It actually went away a little bit. And then I was doing yoga, which I don't do anymore, and I was raising my legs up, and I saw these wrinkles. I said, where did that come from? I didn't have that many wrinkles before. And then I looked at my neck, and it looked like a turkey neck. I said, what the hell is that? And then I fell down a flight of stairs at my daughter's house, and just like in the movie, 2 flights, actually a little short flight and then this one. and landed on my back. And I said, oh God, all the way down. And when I was down there. Well, I thought I was going to have an operation for nerves in my back, but my heart caught up with me. And, oh, wait a minute, I had to ask you, who had a bad fall? There you go. All right. So, before I could decide on the back operation, my heart intervened last September. Heart problems, anybody? Okay. My heart, let's see. So I had a heart scare last September. I started feeling a shortness of breath, just walking from one side of the house to the other. And the doc sent me to get an echocardiogram, which I did. And the doctor said, bad news, your valve doesn't work. And he said, you better hurry up and get that handled. And 2 days later, I was on the plane and had open heart surgery. And here I am. I still made it. Raise your hand. So, how do we deal with these things, these physical problems, as they accumulate one by one, and especially the more serious ones? Well, there's no great advice. There is some on the web, and they give you some things to do, positive attitude, like that, and make amends with whoever you need to make amends with, and that's about it. So, you need to also educate yourself about whatever condition it is, and reach out to friends and family, communicate. Don't try to tackle your problems alone. Focus on activities that bring you positive feelings and joy. All right. We're only going to focus on one or two of the 6 dimensions of life: emotional, social, ethical, and so forth, social. Let's look at the emotional dimension. Interestingly, there are about the same number of positive emotions as there are negative ones. Love and hate, back and forth. Why dwell on the negative? Wait a minute, I wanted to ask you. Okay. Okay, this is the point where I want you to get a partner. And if there's an empty seat next to you, the rows are all even, so you should have a partner right next to you, starting on that side. But if there's an empty seat, raise your hand. If there's an empty seat next to you, raise your hand. And if you volunteer, you can come up and fill in one of those seats. Okay. If you end up with 3 people, that's fine. Just try to all get to talk. So, you're going to be partners, you two, you two, you two, you two, like that. Yes. And designate, first thing, who's going to be A and who's going to be B. Okay, who's going to be A and who's going to be B. Okay, figure it out however you want. You need to have a partner. Don't be without a partner.
Okay, come on.
Okay. B's, you're going to go first. You can point your chair a little bit toward your partner if you like. B's are going to go first. I want you to share. You have a couple minutes. What is the greatest physical challenge you've had in your life today? B's go first. Go. If you're all by yourself, raise your hand.
primary. Yeah.
Listening to other people, a lot of people have the same thing.
That was physical, right?
Yeah.
Continual work in progress.
Some of them serious ones.
So I guess we're supposed to talk about our physical problem. Let's see. I quit in November 03, I think. So 19 years now.
Well, I probably quit 3 or 4 times. I actually smoked, dip,
Okay, stop, and the way we stop is we applaud. That makes everybody be quiet. Switch, A's go now. What's the greatest physical challenge you've had in your life today? A's.
same one.
I finally quit because I got and I'm a dancer, so I couldn't do what I love to do. So I got
Continue dancing?
yeah. I don't think we do sound I don't think I quit them. Well, I graduated from college. Well, at the University of Modern Ballet. You know, Susan. That's your wife? Susan is? I just took a class on it.
Did you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we've been married for close to, let's see, I was 19 and she was 17.
You got married at 17? You were 19? Wow.
Well, we didn't actually get married. We moved in together and lived with each other for 8 years. And then we got married in 81. She actually got married in 1981. We've been together. That's why I was interested in dancing. Susan was very involved in dancing, modern.
I know you live in Albuquerque, and I'm a Santa Fe person. Santa Fe.
Santa Fe,
Well, I can't afford it anymore, but I was for years and years and years.
how long have you been?
Since January.
But you come from Santa Fe?
But I have a house that I own in Kansas, which is where I was born and raised. So that's an Airbnb. So when I travel, I usually have to go back to Kansas every
Part of Kansas. We're originally from
Oh, yeah. Wichita.
Wichita, yeah.
Where are you? Oklahoma City?
I was born in Oklahoma City. She was born in McAllister. McAllister. It's where the state prison is.
I knew I heard that name.
So, but we
We used to go to Grand Valley, and then we switched over to Missouri, and Temple.
So you grew up there?
In Wichita. Yeah, that's why. And then after high school.
Okay, stop, acknowledge your partner.
Yeah, when I was about 40, all right, what did we do that for?
Now it's possible that you and your partner may experience in a next moment something that I call a sacred moment. Make eye contact with your partner. And B, say the words, I feel your pain.
I really feel this. No, I don't feel your pain.
I do. You know, smoking.
All right, again, eye
That's
contact.
true, I hadn't thought of that. Okay.
A,
But I don't want.
tell your partner, I feel your pain.
I'm doing it too fast. I feel your pain. I'm getting ahead of myself.
My friend.
B, tell your partner, you're not alone.
You're not alone. My friend and I were talking the other day, she's lost 2 children.
A,
It's the hardest.
tell your partner, you're not alone.
And she was talking about getting counseling and how the counselors, the first thing they say is,
Acknowledge your
let's go
partner.
back to your childhood. And both of us, she was saying, this counselor she went to said, I don't do grief. I want to know what your childhood. And this is kind of the same thing.
As I said earlier, there are 6 dimensions in our lives: physical, intellectual, social, ethical, emotional, and spiritual. We only really have time to focus on 1 or 2. First, the emotional dimension. Let's look at joy. Many activities bring me joy. Being with nature, walking along the Malecone, sitting quietly just looking at the lake, watching the birds, feeling the cool breezes swaying the branches in the palms and trees, enjoying watching puppies and dogs scramble after each other, playing. Nancy and I enjoy sitting on a swing in the back patio and just being with nature. Petting our once upon a time feral cat, Jaja, and our rooster, who likes to be petted, named Caruso. Being with our friends brings us joy. We love to listen to the rain and watch the lightning flashes. The closer the lightning, the better, to a point. Okay. Now you're going to share with your partner activities that bring you joy. A's go first. Ready? Go. What are some activities that bring you joy?
Where do you like to hike the
Durango,
What are those mountains? You go like straight to get there.
Santa Cruz. Maybe the Santa Cruz.
So it's Ghana.
Ghana. I have not been to Ghana. Now, you're ready.
Yeah, I've never been there.
Pretty rugged hiking.
You like an incline, obviously.
I like a model. I'm not extreme like I like model.
So do you go up here?
It's very nice. Too many impediment blocks.
Oh, kind of like the cobblestones.
Yeah, I mean, your feet go up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah.
Not too much.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's Mount Williams, I think, is the highest mountain in the United States. And it's got a one hike up to the lake. It's a nice hike on time of the dog. And we sat here and overlooked the lake and we saw and heard of it. I never can get it if there's goats or sheep.
Yeah, the big horn.
Yeah, the big
big horn sheep. Yeah.
Okay, stop.
I have a friend that lives on the way to the street, right outside of the road. After.
Who went first, A's or B's? A's. A? All right, B. Tell A, I can feel what brings you joy.
Oh yeah, I can. That's nice. Hiking is spiritual. I have.
Okay, B's go. What brings you joy? Couple minutes.
I'm a lake person. Lake, like we talked about earlier, at Table Rock. We have so many memories because my family was we were always like I learned how to ski when I was 4. So I guess that's it. But one very moments of time, you know what shad are, right? And you know how they sparkle in the sun? I came up on a ski, it came out of the water in a school of shad, so they were like
coming up
all around me and shining in the sun.
My family did that too. Texoma.
In Oklahoma? Or
Right on the
Texas?
Texoma.
I've heard that's really
It's real nice. Yeah, I understand that.
Is it clean like Table Rock? See, Table Rock's wide. Where Grand Lake, when we used to go there, it's mud. The bottom is mud. And Table Rock is rock. So it's
Okay, stop. Acknowledge your partners. A's, tell your partner, I can feel your joy.
my mom and I did. Now we don't, especially.
Okay, if you had trouble coming up with things that bring you joy, that's another issue. We don't have time for that. Sorry. All right, we're going to look at intimacy and connectedness. And then we're going to look at the levels of happiness that are possible. You know, used to go to the gas station and you'd say hi to the attendant. They don't have that in the States anymore. You do your own. But here, there is an attendant, typically. And typically you say, ¿Cómo está? And they might say, Bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? So, but when you go to the grocery store, typically, whether it was in the States, Canada, wherever, Africa, you start a conversation maybe, or the clerk does with you. They say, how are you doing? Or they say, how are you? And you say, I'm fine. But you don't tell the truth. Some of it would be too difficult. You don't say, oh, you really want to know how I'm doing? How I am? I couldn't sleep last night because the neighbors were arguing until 3 a.m. That morning, my husband Ronnie and I got into a fight and I threw a lamp at him and put a gash in his forehead. I had to rush into the hospital for stitches. I didn't get to work until noon and I got docked 4 hours pay. That's how I am. How are you? Well, as ridiculous that example may be, we don't really share our true feelings often. So people don't say what's going on with them sometimes. How happy are you? How happy really? Ongoingly, day by day, hour by hour. Many people, months go by, weeks, months, years, and they don't really take stock of how happy they are. I've created a simple 1 to 10 scale about happiness. Here it is. After I complete the scale, I want you to look for the one that matches you. If you're a 0 on the happiness scale, you're dead. Happiness doesn't matter here on earth anymore. Hopefully you found it somewhere else. If you're a 1 on the happiness scale, things are so bad that you're suicidal. You have a gun in your purse or pills in your pocket and you're ready to take yourself out. It's that bad. If you're a 2, you're in the midst of a horrible situation, such as a life-threatening disease. You may be hospitalized. If you're a 3, you're experiencing some kind of major upset. You may be distraught over a major setback in your life, such as in your relationships or finances or work. Someone close to you may be in dire straits. If you're a 4, you're experiencing some mid-level or minor upset or inconvenience. It may be one of those days when nothing seems to go right, or you got a bit of bad news, or you simply feel off physically and emotionally. If you're a 5, you're experiencing the blahs right in the middle. You are bored with the same old in your life. You're just on idle, trudging through your days. You're in desperate need of some change and excitement. If you're a 6 on this scale of possible happiness, you now start to move in a positive direction if you're a 6, if you're a 5. But if you're a 6, you now start to turn in a positive direction. People who are experiencing a 6 in well-being are okay. They are indeed fine. Okay, you're now a 7. That's pretty good. Pretty good place to be. Things are good. You're experiencing positive physical and emotional well-being. You have a ready smile and feel good about yourself. If you're an 8, you're great. It's quite a wonderful state of being, and perhaps something great has happened to result in such positive feelings. If you're a 9 and someone asks you how you are and your response is that you're a 9, then your experience is fantastic. I'm fantastic. A lifelong dream has just manifested. She said yes to your proposal. You just had the most amazing sex. It was like you both melted into each other and time disappeared. You saw rockets and stars. Or perhaps you're one of those rare souls who's evolved into a place in which you consistently beam light and peace and joy throughout the day. If you're a 10, you have just experienced enlightenment. You've seen her. You've seen God face to face. Ironically, this might be the same as being dead. Okay. So, I want you to now share with your partner, where do you usually fit, typically? Are you someone walking around like a 4, problem? Or are you 5, just boring, something, I need excitement? Are you an 8 or a 9, great or fantastic? Share that, and what makes you that way? And if you're a 10, forget it. You're dead. Or you're just off the planet somewhere. You're not there. You can't share it because you're not there. All right, so A's go first. Share. What number would you give yourself most of the time?
I'm a 9.
7.
That's what I was 6, 7, 8.
Get out of there.
Right.
What is that? Guy was telling us to get help. One things I didn't realize. Get up, dress yourself, run the bathroom, cook, feed yourself. There's 6 of us. If you can't do 2 of the 6, you qualify for the long-term help. So
You could do it.
I could do them all.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm a 7.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm like that. I'm working.
Yeah, I think I know 6, 7. Some days you're 6-ish, but then you got to count your blessings and you go up to 7.
Yeah. We used to go to wine company.
Really, I mean, we're still carrying around our lives.
Okay, stop. Acknowledge your partner. Steve, your turn. Where are you usually on that scale of 1 to 10 most of the time? For simplicity, really in bad shape. I'm bored, medium, I'm fantastic. Go. Steve, the other person. Share where you are on the happiness scale most of the time.
It's a good time to buy. Much better than now.
Yeah, real fortunate. It's on the night.